makes sense that this movie is called The Gallows, because after watching it, I wanted to hang myself. The Gallows is the latest horror movie from Blumhouse Pictures, and it's about 4 teenagers who break into their school to stop this school play called The Gallows from happening, because one of them doesn't want to be in the play because he finds it to be poor taste, and the other 3, they're bored, I guess? The reason he finds it in poor taste because this play hadn't happened for 20 years because one of the boys named Charlie accidentally got hung in the final act where his character was supposed to be killed off in a hanging. And so 20 years later, he's trying to stop it. And so they go to school and ghostly stuff starts to happen. Woo, 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 woo. Oh, and it's another found footage movie. Yay. Honestly, the found footage horror genre isn't even that bad. I mean, Blair Witch Project's one of my favorite horror movies of all time. Paranormal Activity, at least the first 3, are really good. You have others like Wreck, Cloverfield, The Bay, VHS, and even last year's As Above, So Below was a pretty good, creepy horror movie. So just so you know, I'm not a hater of found footage horror movies like some people are. Honestly, it has a decent horror setup. I like the idea of them breaking into the school when it's dark and stuff, so it's more creepy and more atmospheric. I mean, if you've ever been in a building, like a school or any building, late at night, or even with the lights turned off, it can be kind of creepy. I remember when I was a kid in elementary school, I went to this Catholic school that had been around since like the 50s, and if you went into the basement when the lights were turned off, it was kind of creepy if you were alone, because there were like pipes and stuff lining, and it was just like these long hallways. You always felt like you were being watched a little bit, at least when I was a kid, that's what I imagined. So I went into this actually kind of excited for this movie. I figured, you know what, if they do it right, they can make this a good movie. They did not do it right. This movie suffers, though, because of the characters in it. I mean, oh my god, where to start with this? First off, our main character who's controlling the camera is the biggest, I'm not even kidding, the biggest douchebag in a movie I have seen in a long time. Like, I hated this guy. And I'll tell you a bit why. Okay, he's not like even the generic teenage jerk. He goes above and beyond. You know, he's making fun of the kids that are involved in the play, calling them pussies and stuff. And he continually says this one line to the teenage boy who's in the play, who doesn't want to be in the play and everything, and why the whole movie happens. He continually says, "You're gonna choke like Charlie did." As in Charlie, the kid who was hung in the same play he's about to be in? What the hell? 5 minutes in, I wanted this character dead. That is how bad this character is. I don't care what school you're at. If a principal heard you say that about a kid that had died at that school, you would be expelled. And he never has a redeeming moment. And it would be one thing if he was just a douchebag character that we weren't supposed to like. I mean, that's in other horror movies, but he's our main character for the first, like, 45 or whatever minutes of an 80-minute movie. How am I supposed to relate to this kid? This kid is the kind of douchebag teen that I hated in high school. This seems to be a recent problem in horror movies, because it's like, writers in Hollywood apparently don't know how to write teenagers and college students who aren't despicable douchebag assholes who are just beyond likable. I swear, it's like they're confusing characters that are stupid and are kind of jerks sometimes with Hitler. The other characters in this movie, while not that bad, are just not interesting at all, and thus I just don't care when all the scary stuff starts happening about any of them. You get, you know, blonde chick who's dating douchebag over there. You get our drama student who you're supposed to like, but he's still not super interesting, but hell, he's the best character of the group for sure. And then you get this other drama geek girl who comes in halfway through when they're breaking into the school, and she doesn't have really any character either. By the way, how'd this play even end up happening again after 20 years? You have a scene where the drama teacher says he really had to convince the school board to let him do it, but how did he even convince him in the first place? A kid died. Now, there are some okay scenes of atmosphere, I will admit. There's a scene where they find this doorway that leads to all these back hallways that are pitch black, and our douchebag camera guy has to turn on the light on his camera so that they can see. And that's actually a little creepy because you're kind of expecting something to suddenly appear and nothing does, but you're hearing noises. There are actually some brief instances of good horror here. I swear, it's like there's this good horror movie hidden deep down under this terrible script trying to get out. Also, jump scares aren't scary. They are startling. There is a difference. When you have 4 false jump scares near the beginning of your movie, it sucks out any tension that anyone may have felt. When you're walking down a hallway or something, and douchebag McDoucherson pops out of nowhere, you go, roar! It's not scary, it's annoying and stupid. Hollywood, please stop doing this. Also, the scene closest to being creepy was the scene that's in the teaser, where the blonde girl is sitting like this near a stairwell, and she's crying, and then you suddenly see Charlie slowly appearing behind her with a noose. That's a creepy scene. But guess what? That is ripped straight out of the original Halloween. Which I wouldn't mind if this was a good horror movie. I'd be a little annoyed, but I'd be like, you know what? You utilized it well, so good job. But it's their best scare moment, and huge shock, it's not even original. In fact, let me just name a few horror movies that this movie clearly ripped off. Let's see. The opening is from Sinister. You have that scene just talked about from Halloween. You have the killer ghost mask is actually straight out of Friday the 13th Part 2 and The Town That Dreaded Sundown. And not to mention that found footage movies have been done to death, where even someone who likes the genre like me is getting a little sick of them. Come on, Hollywood, have some original scare ideas, or if you're going to do found footage, make it scary again. Make it work. Use atmosphere. I mean, the Blair Witch Project has had how many jump scares? 0. 0 jump scares. And that is an effective, scary horror movie. So to wrap this up, this movie is terrible. The story's terrible, the script is god-awful, the characters are so beyond unlikable that I just want them to die the entire movie. There's nothing really legitimately scary about this movie besides a couple creepy atmospheric moments that are really short, by the way, I should mention. There's not a lot. This movie's not an effective horror movie, and honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing this game remade in 10, 20 years. It's a creepy idea for a horror movie. It's just executed horribly, which is the main problem. I wish it was a better horror movie, guys. It's disappointing that it's not, and I'm gonna have to give it 1 out of 5 stars. Don't see this movie, guys. If you want to see an actually scary atmospheric horror movie from this year, check out It Follows. It just came out on Blu-ray and DVD today. Go rent it from Redbox, Netflix, whatever, and have a good time. That is how you make a horror movie. Also, let me know in the comments what your favorite found footage horror movie is. Do you not like found footage horror movies at all? And if so, why don't you like them? And please like, comment, subscribe. See ya.